This is the PL-89 Gematriatic Quantum Thought Calendar for Thursday, November 6th, 2025, and for Yom Hamishi, the fifth day of the week, the 15th of Cheshvan. And it's a lunar and solar calendar, and it's designed for gematriatic data mining. That's one way of putting it. It's seeing how gematria is real in the way of gathering information correctly. And it starts by putting a lot of things that happen and seeing them numerically, and then seeing the patterns in the numbers. And so, for example, the names that come up on a daily basis in any given data set, any frontier, whether it's the workplace or social, or is there some kind of pattern to it? The names that circle, that interact with each other. And I know that's very general, so I'll give a specific. And I can relate it in my case, but if it's in my case, I don't know why it would be. If it's numerical, it shouldn't be just me. It should apply to, ideally, apply as a general rule if it's mathematics. But like, for example, in my case, a name came up today. I used just the basic ciphers. Hebrew Gematria cipher there's the basic ones, Aleph is 1, Bet is 2, Gimel is 3, and then when it gets to Yud, it's by tens, and then when it gets to Kuf, it goes by hundreds. That's the very standard Hebrew Gematria, but there are other ciphers. But the main one is the one I just described. But there's the English Gematria cipher, which A is 1, B is 2, C is 3. And if that's the case, then a name like Lucia, Lucia, would equal 46, simply because L is the 12th letter, U is the 21st letter, C is the third letter, I is the 9th, and A is the first. Add this together, 46. And there was some interaction with someone named Lucia today, but any name, like Steve is 71, let's say, or John is 47. If you can always add it, the rule is, in this calculation, is that you can always add an A to it. Why? Because it makes sense when you say, I know a Kevin. You could say, I know Kevin, but it's also correct to say is, I know a Kevin. I know a Kevin there. He works in human resources. Talk to him. I know a Kevin. A Kevin. See, if I needed a number 62, I could say a Kevin. Not just Kevin. If I needed a 61, it would be Kevin. But if I needed a Kevin, it would be 62. That's fine. So a Lucia is 47. But today's date on this calendar is 7, and the rule of 40 is that 40 is applied ad infinitum. You add 40 and it's in the same file. So 40 equals 7 equals 47 equals 87 equals 127 equals 167 equals 2,000,007. Okay? So if today on this calendar, the 15th day of Cheshvan, on the Jewish side, in Hebrew, it's both lunar and solar. You'll see. We'll go through the solar in a moment. But the 15th of any month in this dispensation is going to be box 7. It doesn't go 1, 2, 3. It goes 8 plus 9, 8 plus 9, 8 plus 9. So, and it cuts off at 40. That's another reason for the 40. 40 is a big number in this calendar. And when you get to the 15th day of any month, November 15th, or in this case it's Cheshvan 15th, Cheshvan is leading November by 9 points. It's a plus 9 reality because 6 plus 9 is 15. So the 6th of November plus 9 equals the 15th of Cheshvan. So every reality, every time we switch months, that difference is noted and recorded. This year is a very notable year and very unusual to many years, because a plus zero reality or minus zero reality is when the Hebrew, meaning the moon, and the sun, the Gregorian, are exactly equal. So for this year, March 15th was Adar 15th. And March 14th was Adar 14th. So Purim was March 14th. So it's a plus zero. There's no difference. It's 14 to 14. Not only did it happen, it doesn't usually happen at all during the year. It happens every few years. But this year in 2025, it happened twice. It happened in January, which means January 1st was Tevet Aleph, Tevet 1, plus 0. And it happened again in March. That's very rare. In this dispensation, the 15th day of Cheshvan, or November, it's going to be 7. But today, I met somebody named Lucia, and the number is 47, and that's today on this calendar. That's what I'm trying to tune into. A Lucia is going to be in this box. It's 47. A Lucia is 40, which is 7. So my question first off is, how does this work? Why does this match up this way? Why? How does this happen? Did I just stumble upon something? Are there other people who share this desire to understand if there's a numerical code or some kind of a rhyme and a reason for all these names that happen on these days, and how can it be utilized to bring forward something unprecedented? So, I mean, this thing I just described is it happens all the time, that the names of the people are actually corresponding to these box numbers without me planning them. And I don't know how to, I can look back and say, even if it's just today, but it has to be at least a little bit in the past. It has to have just happened. After it happened, I look and I see, oh, okay, I make the connection. But does that have any utility for the future? Can it be understood from this? So that's where I'm at with this calendar. I'm looking to take it further, but I don't know what branch of mathematics would be needed to take it to the next level. I don't know if it's a mixture, maybe of a certain kind of, maybe I saw something called higher category theory, something higher set theory. That might be involved. Omni set, omni placement, something. It's in higher category theory, higher set theory. Maybe that's it. Higher category theory, I think it is. Again, and then with someone, maybe it's computer programming. And the question is, how is it applied? What do you want to accomplish? And that is a little bit more ethereal. It's a little bit more abstract, because it's not something physical. It's accomplishing something mental. Something akin to a critical mass. I'm just borrowing terms that I've heard before that might fit. A critical mass of a particular paradigm, certain construct about reality, to be catalytic in a change of a reality for the better. And on many different fronts. But then again, there's so much data that's not available. Like, how much do we have in our power to do this? I mean, what's the role of every human being that plays into this? And there's many factors. There's free will versus what are we called to make a change? Who makes the change unless it's God? And how can we be involved with it? So these questions I'm wrestling with, but it sort of gets to a point where it's just numbers and names and words and numbers, and I can tell you that John equals 47 and Sam equals 33, and I can say Jane equals 30 and Ben equals 72, and I can just tell you all the names of the people, and more English gematria and Hebrew gematria. Shmuel equals 377, Akiva equals 183. Yochanan 124. I could do that, and I could show you where it is on this calendar, and I could show you that on this day these names, these numbers, and then here. But then the question remains: where do you take it from here? If anyone has an interest in this kind of data science / mathematics, then I would be very happy to collaborate and see how we can take it to the next level. So for now, I'm doing these presentations on a daily basis, and I'm just going through the calendar, all the rules and the principles and the rules and the principles basically of how this has been formed, how it works. I can just reiterate it and just say it over and over, which I have been doing, and not all of them all the time. I switch off, but basically I'm making these videos every day because this is now public and everyone can see this, and maybe this is the missing link to someone else who has something, and you put those things together, and then this what is necessary for that thing. And then, someone was working for almost 14 years on that thing, but they're incomplete without this. And then the third person comes and says, guess what? I see what you two are working on, and you know what? I think this is the missing puzzle. That's the general idea of what I'm reaching out for. So, as long as I'm, I suppose, inclined to continue, or could say guided by God to continue, because I don't believe this is my information. I'm not exclusive to this. This is not exclusive. This has been given. I'm in I guess you could say, stewarding this information for a while, and just working with what I have, how all the concepts and the mathematics, the maths to come in here. So I think I've spent enough time on that already. So basically, box 7 is the 15th of every month. Here's another thing. This is just plain easy mathematics. But look, the 15th day of the month is in box 7. Okay? But when you get down to this box 7, it's next to a 15. So that's probably simple math. But so this box 7 next to 15. It goes 8 plus 9, 8 plus 9, and when it hits 40, it resets. That's the basic formula, basic structure of it, the sequence. So 8 plus 9, 8 plus 9, and then 40 goes, it's like 8, 17, 25, 34, and then not 42, but 2, 11, 19, 28, 36, not 45, but 5, 13, 22, 30, okay, etc. So it hits 40, which means it really hits 20, because it's going 8 plus 9, it's resetting, it's 20, and then it resets, it comes back to 8 again, right? And then, so there's 240 boxes, and there's a lot of rules and it's probably a lot of time taken up now. So 15th of any month is here. Now, today's also the 6th. The 6th is 11. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, box 11. 8, 17, 25, 34, 2, 11. So what is today about 11? I didn't think about it. I mean, you could say 11. So the normal process would be to apply the rule of 40. 11, 51, 91, 131, 171. Keep adding 40. 211, 251, 291. Right? I don't see anything. 331, 271. I don't see anything for 11 today, so that's pretty much it for today.